Hey, welcome to Night Combos. It's Lovey here. We've seen Gypsy give so many reasons as to why her and Ryan's marriage didn't work. Well, now she's saying Ken was the reason, which we're about to get into and look at a short article here in just a second. But first, we just want to say from hubby and I both, even though he's not here right now, thank you so much to all of our subscribers. We truly love and appreciate every single one of you. We are so grateful to have every single one of you that's been with us from the beginning all the way to now. And thank you so much to all of our new subscribers and welcome. We truly, truly appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. We really do. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos, all of the things, and we would truly appreciate it so very much. And y'all, please let us know y'all's thoughts and opinions about all of this that we're about to look at in the comment section down below. And we'll be conversating with y'all like always, and we would greatly appreciate it. So, Gypsy Rose Blanchard has ran to People magazine yet again. Y'all, this came out July 1st. So, like I said, this is a short article. I wanted us to talk about it a little bit, especially with everything that's gone on lately. Like with her and Ken, her getting off parole, going to Austin, Texas with Ken, staying drunk basically every day, the whole thing. And I'm also going to be showing y'all a couple of clips and stuff as well. But the article starts off saying, Gypsy Rose Blanchard reveals the one thing she learned in marriage to ex Ryan Scott Anderson. To ex Ryan Scott Anderson. Y'all know what I meant. So it says, the famed victim of Munchausen by proxy, which, 1, she is not famous. 2, she is not a victim of Munchausen by proxy. Okay, People magazine? Y'all keep going back and forth about whether or not she was a victim and whether or not you call her famous. So please get it together and stop calling her famous and stop calling her a victim, because she's absolutely not a victim of anything. But it says she shared that she hopes to get engaged to her boyfriend, Ken Urker, soon. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is taking one lesson away from her first marriage. The 33-year-old recently appeared in a 2-part episode on iHeartRadio's Misspelling podcast, in which host Tori Spelling asked her about her previous marriage to Ryan Scott Anderson and her future plans with her boyfriend and father of her daughter, Ken Urker. The prison confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, it says star, but we all know she's not a star, married her now ex Anderson in July of 2022, while she was still in prison for the unaliving of her mother, Dee Dee, who, it says who made her, but we all know who did not make her undergo years of intense, unneeded medical treatments. Now, we all know that that's a lie. It's been proven. It's in the medical records. It's in the FOIAs. It's in the court documents, the police reports, everything. We all know that her mom did not make her go through years or any time period at all of unneeded medical treatments. Then it says, 3 months after her prison release, Blanchard announced her separation from Anderson in March of 2024 and filed for divorce the following month. The exes legally parted ways in December of 2024, this past December. And then it says, quote, what I learned in my first marriage is that I understand that there's going to be times that will be kind of dull, and it's not so much about staying in the honeymoon phase, Blanchard said in part 2 of her podcast appearance. Well, you would think as a 33-year-old now mother, she would know that no, not a relationship, not a marriage, it's not always and forever going to be in the honeymoon phase. But we are talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard at the same time, though. But to say that she understands now that there will be times that will be kind of dull says a lot. Like, I would never, and hubby and I went over this and everything before I sat down to record this video. So, we talked about this article and everything. Like, we don't get her calling a marriage or relationship with anyone, like that you're in love with anyway, dull. At any time, like, yeah, you may have like some boring moments. Not every moment is going to be blissful and happy. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to not always agree on everything, but you talk it out and you compromise, or you see the other person's side of things, or, they may see your side of things or whatever, but you work it out peacefully. Like, it's just weird that she says dull. She acts like in a relationship, you're always supposed to be flying off somewhere to go on some sort of trip or vacation or something like that at all times. No, Gypsy, that's not how a relationship or marriage is. The article goes on to say, she continued, it's about looking at the relationship in its entirety as, quote, hey, this is our family. We have to look at it as if there's no out in this relationship, end quote. Although Blanchard would have seen herself ending the marriage regardless, she credits Urker as the catalyst that helped me create my decision. Urker told People in March that he and Blanchard reconnected in April of 2024, last year, just 4 months after her prison release in December of 2023. Okay, that right there. She's starting off, like we've shown y'all in a more detailed video before. Gypsy, you and Ken do not have a good foundation to this relationship. And going into a marriage without a strong foundation just screams, this won't last. And we can all see it, Gypsy. You can't even take any of the blame for your own marriage ending. She said it was so many different things with Ryan. He abused her. He hoarded food. He sweat too much. I don't know. She would say so many different things, and each time one got debunked and proved to be a lie, she would come out with something else. And now here she is saying, oh, well, now it was all thanks to Ken. He's the one that ended my marriage. Like, what the heck? But, oh, that's right, Gypsy. What do you care? You think marriage is just a piece of paper. So why is it so important to her to be married to Ken? What do y'all think? We really believe it's so she can hold it over Ken's head to say, you can't go anywhere, we're legally bound together. But I don't know. What do y'all think? There's a difference between commitment and captivity, though, Gypsy. Looking at marriage or even a relationship like that can cause one or both people to put up with abuse or toxic behavior, for example. It can be harmful to see marriage as, quote, okay, there is no way out. Captivity is basically what your mom dealt with from you in ways, in our opinions anyway. But what do y'all think? Like, if one or even both people believe there is no way out, like Gypsy said, they might stay in situations where they're being emotionally, physically, or psychologically, or even financially abused because they've been conditioned to think that leaving is never an option. Abusers often use this mindset to trap their partners. And we could absolutely see Gypsy doing that. You made a vow can be weaponized to excuse horrific behavior. We all know that Gypsy absolutely has shown this type of behavior many times in the past. Most of us know that she used her pregnancy and now the baby to get Ken to come back. Like, come back to her when they've been broke up. She has said, and now Ken even says, we both agreed we don't want our child to grow up in a broken home. Well, if that's what's healthier for the child, then so be it. Ken knows that he apparently signed the personal NDA, so she can already use that against him. We also know that she has posted publicly personal things about Ryan, so Ken probably knows that she would do the same thing to him as well, and if he signed that personal NDA, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on or be able to defend himself or counter anything she says or puts out about him if they were to break up, like permanently. But what do y'all think about it? Y'all take a look at this clip that Conspiracy posted over on TikTok and I believe Instagram as well. But look at this clip and look how irritated and aggravated Ken seems to be.
We're gonna call us
I'm super. No, don't press it.
Thank you guys for coming in. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna be in Austin for a couple days.
Well, don't take it.
Alright, we're just gonna call us
I'm super. No, don't press it.
We're just gonna call us.
Y'all can tell he's irritated with her and she's, physically trying to fight him for the phone while being completely wasted. Completely drunk and trying to fight him for the phone. No, don't press it. And you can tell that he's just completely annoyed with her at this point. In a relationship, and especially a marriage, if one person or the other believes they can never leave, like Gypsy said, her and Ken have to look at this like, okay, we're a family, we can never leave this relationship. If they start to look at it like that, then they may start suppressing their needs or wants or identity to keep the peace or for other reasons, rather than growing as a person within the marriage, like both people should be able to do. Marriage should be a partnership, Gypsy, that allows both people to grow, not just survive in silence and be or become miserable because that's what would happen. It also takes away accountability. If both people know or think that there's no way out, like Gypsy said, and look at it like that, then one or both people might stop putting in effort. Why grow, change, or show up lovingly if the other person is, quote, stuck with you? That's how they'll start looking at it. And that's how Ken will start looking at you, Gypsy. Like, why do I even need to show up for her every day lovingly and willingly if I'm, quote, stuck with her? A healthy marriage and relationship says, I choose you daily. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Hubby and I wake up every day and choose each other every day. We both know that either one of us could leave the marriage. We both know that we could walk away if we wanted to, but neither one of us want to. That's the thing. And we've been together for years. A lot of y'all know that we've been together since we were teenagers. So we've been together 18 years, y'all. We haven't been married that long, but we've been together that long. So you wake up and you choose that person that you're in love with every day. You don't wake up and say, okay, well, I'm with this person because I'm stuck with them. I have to be with them because I signed that legal document. No. I mean, yes, the piece of paper does mean more than just a piece of paper. It's a sign of your commitment. It shows your commitment and your loyalty. But it doesn't mean that you have to choose each other every day. That's what matters. That's what means something, is when you wake up every day and choose to continue to be with that person that you're in love with. I mean, wouldn't you want that, Ken? Wouldn't you want that? Rather than to be stuck with Gypsy? Y'all get what I mean? Like, in my opinion, I guess that's the way you should look at a marriage, in a healthy way. Not as a quote, there's no way out. Y'all, this girl does not need to get married. I guess I'm just saying that marriage is a responsibility in its own, as well as them having a child in the mix, you know? But we're seemingly talking about two ding-dongs here, Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Kenan. Okay, so going back over here to the article, it says, quote, Ken was the catalyst that helped me to give me the courage to, say, hey, this relationship, this marriage, it's not where my heart is, Blanchard explained on the podcast. And I don't know how long it would have taken me to pluck up the courage had it not been for Ken. Blanchard is hopeful she'll tie the knot again in the future, this time with Urker. In October 2018, Urker proposed to Blanchard, though they briefly called off their engagement before reuniting in August 2019. Despite their reconciliation, the two ended up going their separate ways for the second time. Now, Blanchard believes they're ready to get engaged again. We've had a child together, so it's like we have a family. We have that love, said Blanchard, who announced in January that she and Urker welcomed their first child together, daughter Aurora. We have stood through thick and thin of this last year and a half of going through so much, so I think we have what it takes. Now, it's just kind of about realizing what we need to do to get there. On the Season 2 finale of Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, Urker went engagement ring shopping. But he hasn't told me if he got a ring or if he didn't get a ring, Blanchard noted. Like, he's been so big about it, and so part of me is hoping that maybe we'll get engaged when we're on vacation. And she's not talking about Texas, y'all. I'll tell you what she's talking about in just a second. He's already talked to my dad and gotten my dad's blessing, she added. Okay, no, Gypsy. You and Ken have not stood together through thick and thin this past year and a half. For one thing, y'all broke up how many times? You also unfollowed Ken on social media on Mother's Day because you were mad and pouting. Y'all were broke up then, and we're pretty sure, y'all, that they were not together on Father's Day either. That shows your maturity level, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And hopefully Ken sees it as well, that you certainly are not mature enough or ready to be a wife or in a marriage. Heck, you aren't even mature enough or ready to be a mom either. Yet here we are, though. Y'all remember this?
Sleep with her, like, in the bed.
I know, I never do.
You did last night.
I did last night because she was on my chest.
I know.
Ken's having to tell Gypsy, don't fall asleep with the baby in the bed with you. And she said, oh, I know, I don't. And he said, you did last night. And Gypsy replies, oh, I did last night because she was on my chest. Well, how many times does the baby lay on your chest, Gypsy? I mean, be so for real. A baby lays on your chest a lot. I mean, when you're a normal mom and you have your baby a normal amount of time anyway. But hopefully Ken really doesn't rush into a marriage with her. Seriously. With her maturity level. Although we don't have high hopes for that. But what are y'all's thoughts on it? Gypsy, just because you have a child with someone does not necessarily mean that you have, quote, that love, as you say. And it dang sure doesn't mean that, oh, we have a child, so we're ready for marriage. And we have to look at it like we're basically, quote, stuck together. Y'all remember when she said, I told him I was going to the fertility doctor because my periods were irregular, and tricked him and told him I was on birth control and got him to knock me up, basically, is what she said. You don't go to a fertility doctor, and a lot of you know that hubby and I would know, you don't go unless you're trying to get pregnant. I don't know, y'all may disagree, but we just don't feel like just because you get pregnant and had a baby means you're ready for marriage with that person now. That right there shows her maturity and level of thinking as well. Y'all get what I'm saying? So, for those of you who don't know, Gypsy, Ken, Rod, and Christy all have a family vacation, even though that's not the whole family, planned to go to the beach pretty soon. So we think that may be where she's hoping Ken will propose to her, since she said she thinks it's going to happen on vacation. Huge eye roll, by the way. And for those of you who wanted to know, there was a few comments left on that article. Someone saying, I'm going to be honest, you said Ken likes blondes, but you forgot to mention he also likes, y'all can see the word, DICKS's too. That guy is a slander word than a $3 bill. I know the guy and I know he likes men. That is a fact. So this person is saying that they know Ken and that they know that he likes men for a fact. This person said, she wasn't married long enough to even call it a marriage. I would have more respect for her if she would stop bad-mouthing her ex-boyfriend she got to unalive her mom. Talking about Nick. Had she not asked him to unalive her mom, she wouldn't be DEAD. She snuck out of the house, had a computer, so she had other options. I agree with every last bit of that, except for this last part. This person said, I know her mom had a mental illness, but she could have told people, but chose unaliving instead. Okay, no, her mom did not have a mental illness, and you can't diagnose someone once they are MURDER'd, okay? Then this person said, I appreciate articles about her. I have a lot of compassion for what she was put through as a child. It is interesting to me to see her life unfold now. I care. Okay, bot. All right. Okay, bot. Because that's exactly what a bot would say. Like, literally, you obviously haven't watched her life or anything about her childhood or anything because she had a great childhood. Then someone said, People magazine needs to listen to its audience. And then this person said, I'm so tired of her. She is not a celebrity. Exactly. And someone replied to that by saying, this is what some get wrong about the magazine. The magazine's name is People. Whether or not you're a celebrity, they will post stories of people at random. Yes, that's true, but People magazine does call the people that they are talking about in articles celebrities. They've called Gypsy a celebrity, a star, famous, so many times. So what are y'all's thoughts and opinions on the article and about what we had to say about it, what our thoughts and opinions were. What are y'all's? What do y'all have to say about it? We can't wait to see what y'all have to say about it. And like I said, we'll be conversating with y'all like always. Again, if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell, all of the things, and we would truly appreciate it so very much. And we are so grateful and appreciative of every single one of you that are subscribed to us. We honestly love and appreciate all of you so much. And we'll see y'all in the next one, and we hope y'all have a good night, and God bless. Bye.